Alrighty, well, welcome to the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour. We find ourselves at round 2 today. We do have an hour to go before qualifying begins, but we're going to leave this open. And watch the boys get as much practice in as they possibly can before the beginning of this race. Howdy, Christian. Hope you're doing well, fella. Great seeing you earlier as well. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Howdy, Ian. Howdy, Doodle. Hope you're both well. Alrighty, so I'm just going to leave you with the sights and sounds of the Next Gen boys. Is that the number 51? 78. Number 51 Ferrari was putting on an incredible performance last week. And most certainly will do today, but I'm going to sort out what I need to, and I will see you boys and girls at 7:30. Ciao, ciao. Alrighty. Just over 5 minutes of free practice left to go before we kick off at the qualifying session for NXTGEN's Season 4, Round 2. Today we find ourselves at a very wet Monza MV GTRS up in P1 in the 909 Mercedes with a 154.168. Although from a previous experience, free practice pace and the qualifying pace are very different, so we'll keep an eye and see how things progress there. Big thank you to everyone that's joined in the chat today. Just watching the video, watching round 2 here at Monza. So we're currently watching a 78 Ferrari, Rupert, make his way through the Parabolica. And see exactly what events will unfold today. As I mentioned in the previous race, round 1, points matter, and it's most certainly up to the drivers to make the most of what they can today and get as many points as they possibly can. And of course we're starting at Monza, so we've got that infamous Turn 1 Monza, very wet Monza. So we'll see how the beginning unfolds. Hopefully we get a very clean start. Yeah, we've got just over 3 minutes of free practice left to go. The qualifying session is gonna be a go. For anyone that joined us for round 1 of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour, you will have most certainly remembered that the number 51 Ferrari, Mr. Lamp, literally ran away with P1 for round 1. And of course, Elliot Hankin joining us again in the number 44 Audi GT3, making his way through Ascari. Oh. I'm sure being smooth and consistent today will bring out some fast lap times. Elliot Hankin in the 44 Audi warming up his brakes and tyres before coming through the Parabolica there. Up to Curva Grande. And into the pits goes Hankin. No one saw that. Our free practice session is now over. And let's see exactly what the boys can do today. Alam crossing that line, 6/10 off the pace in the free practice session of the 9:09 AMG. And there we go, getting teleported as we now get the green for the qualifying session. 20 minutes of work. The next gen season 4 round 2 here at Monza, and of course we've got an outlap to complete. Opening lap will most certainly be about making sure tyres and brakes are up to temperature. See exactly what the 51 Ferrari is capable of today. I suppose it's most certain that he can handle himself in the wet. We'll see whether he can do that again here at another wet track. So the first 2 races for Next Gen Season 4 have both been wet. Of course, John the Helicam Man joining us again as we watch the 51 Ferrari make his way up to the left-hander of Ascari. Very big sandpit to the right there. Touch the sausages in these cars, and your car will literally go flying. So the 51 Ferrari not happy with his tyres and brakes being optimum, getting the most out of his tyre temperatures and brake temperatures as it comes up to the final corner here into the right-hander of the Parabolica, and finishing his outlap with just over 17.5 minutes left to go of qualifying. We've got the number 7 McLaren leading the way. And second to put a time down from completing the outlap is the 909 Mercedes, currently being hunted by Lucan, who's stuck with the Lexus for this season. The number 7 McLaren now making his way through Ascari, as is the AMG. About jump on board with the number 7 McLaren, about to put the first time down now as he comes up towards the Parabolica, making sure it's a very strange corner to make sure you can get the best exit you possibly can here, leading on to the long straight here at Monza as we come up to first chicane Rettifilio, and with a time of a 1:55.6. Now second place, the 909 Mercedes taking the first slots. Lucan 1.5 off the pace of the 909 Mercedes. Hankin now in P3 in the 44. Audi 1.1 off the pace, Hempy in P6, 2.1 off the pace, Mr. Lamb, who won round 1 last week with 1.4 off the pace in P4, 1.443 off the pace of course we are only just closing into the first quarter of a qualifying session, and Rupert in the 78 Ferrari currently in P6. Hempy in P9, 2 seconds off the pace in the mid-engined Ferrari GT3. Try and get all the cars in shot for you here as they exit Lesmo and make their way down Seragilio into the first left-hand corner of the three-cornered Ascari, and exits is the 316 Lexus as he makes his way up to the Parabolica. And jump out as the cars are crossing. Number 7 is about to cross, currently in P2, 1 second off the pace. Now 0.8 seconds off the pace. But the 909 Mercedes, capitalising on even more time, what was 0.8 has now put Kobe into a 1.26. Lucan though has put himself in P4. Hankin taking P2, 0.792 off the pace of the 909 Mercedes. So taking P1 is the 909 Mercedes, now seemingly in the slipstream of the number 7 McLaren. Into Ascari. And up towards the Parabolica. Still in P1, you can see the LED screen flashing. P1 there for the 909 Mercedes. Has he got a good run here through the final corner of Monza, the Parabolica here, with a 154, 177. Not able to capitalise on that, but Kobe now putting Hankin in P3. Not even 5 thousandths of a second separating P2 to P3 between Kobe and Elliott in the McLaren and Audi, two different cars here at Monza. Just under 12 minutes of racing left to go, and the number 44 crossing that start finish. No, he's not, he's off into the pits. So Nicolo back in the Lexus for round 2 at Monza. Making his way under the Sieber Bridge and up towards Ascari. Yet to put time down here at Monza. And the number 7 McLaren making his way into the pits. Following Nicolo is number 11 Audi of Mamster, exiting Ascari and making his way up to Parabolica. Both of these cars looking to put a time down as they both make their way through the Parabolica. We stay on board with the number 28 Lexus as he is about to put a time down as he comes up to the start finish straight here at Monza with a time of a P7, 1.5 off the pace of the very quick 909 Mercedes, and currently Mr. Lamp 0.8 off the pace, not even a tenth separating P2, 3 and 4 as we just enter final 50% of qualifying session available to be used for the drivers out here on track. And Simon in chat, mildly moist I see. It's just a little bit wet today, Simon, yes. It's definitely a little bit moist. Hempy next to cross the start-finish line as he makes his way up and through the parabolica. Sixth place, 1.2 off the pace. And Alexi in the number 17 McLaren now making his way through the final corner here at Monza, currently in P9, 1.6 off the pace of a 1:54.177 from MVGT. Crosses that line and puts himself in P7, shaving 0.3 of a second off his time, putting him on the 5th grid in 7th position. 4th grid, sorry. The 28 Lexus now only a second off the pace, 0.2 of a second off Elliot Hankin in the 44 Audi at a very wet Monza. The number 11 in 8th position, 1.2 off the pace, and the 316 who can Lucan crossing that start finish. Not able to capitalise on his time. Next to cross with a lap is the number 99 Ferrari, Daniel Hempy in the beautiful Ferrari GT3. Oh, Stuart, I don't know what to say to that, if I'm honest. Alexi crossing that start-finish line, not able to improve on his time, the number 7, putting himself in 2nd position. So, Kobe now, only 0.4 off MVGT's 1:54.177. Courtesy of the legendary Elliot Hankin in the 44 Audi. 3rd position for Mr. Lamp. 8th for Mamster. 79 coming out the closet as he makes his way up to the final corner with 5:55 left to go. We have Closet man crossing that start finish, 3.4 off the pace as he crosses that start finish and makes his way up to turn 1 Monza Rettifilio. just over 5 minutes of racing left to go. So the number 51 Ferrari with 21 points leading the championship after race 1, who handled the wet like an absolute boss. Qualifying time is one thing, but we've got 60 minutes of keeping it on the road, so we'll see exactly how the drivers will fare today. Kobe with 19 points in P2. With 18 points, we have Daniel Hempy, currently in P7. Qualifying session with just over 4 minutes and 44 left to go, and Mamster and Hankin in P4 is the number 44. Audi, Elliot Hankin in P4 with 17 points, 1 point behind Hempy. So like I say, this is all points, it's all to fight for. Alexi in the 17 McLaren, 16 points. Dele with 15 points in P6. Mamster in P7 with 14 points, and with 13 points we have the man who is currently leading in P9, 8 points off P1, Mr. Lamp with 21 points. MVGT, P8, 13 points. And in P9 we have Rupert in the 78 Ferrari with 12 points. Lucan with 11 points in P10. Jamo in P11 with 10 points. And Nicolo with a DNF. And NXTGEN's Lager Stewart, who will not be joining us today. So I'm sure everyone watching this will miss the antics of the legendary 46 Bentley. And of course, we are blessed to have him in chat alongside the other legendary John Wells. Just over 2 minutes left to go. The 909 Mercedes, or anyone else who's not been able to capitalise on a 154.177 Kobe, now only 0.342 off the 909 Mercedes time. Mr. Lamp still in P3 on the front of the second row with a 663 off the pace, very close to Nicolo, and we have had some weird stuff. Not sure what I just saw there, but nevertheless, Nicolo in TMK in the number 28 Lexus, 0.684, so 0.021 separating the 51 Ferrari and the Lexus there. Elliot Hankin, 0.792 in P5, and under 2 minutes of racing left to go. Lely, good luck boys, happy racing. Great to see you in chat, buddy, hope you're doing well. We've got 93 seconds of racing left to go here for the qualifying session. The 316 Lexus next to cross that start finish. To capitalise on any time on that one. Under 60 seconds. Few people. And so a few people now deciding to retire to the pits. Alrighty, 10 seconds left to go. Mr. Lamp utilising every single second he has out on track. MV crossing that line. Now a 1:53.982 P1 on the final lap there, and Mamster in the number 11 Audi going into P7, 1.3 off the 1:53.9 of MVGT. Incredible lap there from the Mercedes driver, and the number 99 Daniel Hempe in the Ferrari left to put a time down, and we will be getting ready for the green here for Season 4 of NXTGEN's GT World Tour. And of course, I'll give a big shout out to all the drivers in the AM lobby. We are watching the Pro lobby, and Hempe ending the available time there, and now making his way into the pits. That is the qualifying session over with. So I've given you an up-to-date time, or rather scoreboard, on round 1 of NXTGEN's Season 4 round 1, and Mr. Lamp taking the glorious 21 points, maximum points. Ian in chat with a good luck all. Hey Matt, living legend, wish you the luck with the stream. Thank you very much, Lily, I appreciate those words, brother. Thank you very much. Stuart, just playing up, only joking. Good luck, lads. Good luck, lads. I know turn 1 will go well, says Stuart. Best of luck to everyone. May turn 1 be king to them all, says John Wells in chat, as we get ready for the drivers that are making their final adjustments before the 2021 technology of teleportation comes into effect, and we find the GT3 drivers on track, ready to start their engines until we get the green for the formation lap here for NXTGEN's Season 4 round 2. Best of luck to everyone. May turn 1 be kind to them all. Oh, quote Max, John Wells, Wednesday the 8th of December, 2 minutes past 8. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to hear that infamous sound, and I'm just going to take a few moments when they start their engines so we can get a real appreciation for the beautiful sound that is the GT3 class. And you can see some of the cars making the final adjustments and clicking that drive button, sat in their rigs. And may the force feedback be with you all, as all drivers joining us across the world today for round 2 of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour at a very wet Monza. And turn 1, I hope you're all I hope you're all excited for this one as much as I am. Just getting this shared to Jadia's Discord as well as Tijni's, and we're gonna share it through Facebook. We're gonna boost this post a little bit and we've shared it to the ACC groups. See how many people. We usually get about 70 to 80 views after the stream finishes, so a big shout out to everyone that's joined, and of course I'm very appreciative of you all smashing that like button, as somewhat repetitive as that can be, as mindful as I am of it. It does help us out, and it means we can continue to produce this content for you all. And you can hear some of the engines now begin. Start their engines as we get the, or as we wait for the green. And here we go, we get the green for round 2 of the Next Gen Season 4 at Monza, and of course the 51 Ferrari that we are currently on board with, currently in P1 with 21 points. Ferrari to jump on board with spoiler cam, trying to imitate reality is the name of Assetto Corsa Competizone's game, and leading the pack is MVGT in the 909 matte black GT3 AMG Mercedes. Kobe with a well-deserved P2, finding himself on the first row of the grid. Elliot Hankin decided to take position off Nicolo there. And of course, with Mr. Lamp leading 21 points, Kobe in P2 is second place as well in the championship, 19 points, 18 points goes to Hempy, finding himself in P7, and Hankin with 17 points, Alexi with 16, GT Delhi coming out of the closet with 15 points, Mamster with 14, MVGT with 13 points, but in P1 today. Alrighty, so we are now on the final stretch of the opening of round 2, Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour. And all drivers are now being demanded to line up in the Noah's Ark formation of 2x2 as they make their way up and through the Parabolica. So we have the Mercedes, Ferrari and Elliot Hankins Audi on the right hand side, coming into T1 of the infamous Monza. And of course we wait for a few moments, let the action unfold, and then we back out and we will get on board with the live up-to-date Delta. So we are now waiting for the green of Next Gen Season 4, Round 2 at Monza. We get the green MV with an incredible start there. The 51 Ferrari looking like he has lost somewhat of not the best starts there, and Nicolo now taking 4th position. MV still in P1, Kobe in P2, followed by Hankin now in P3. Kobe leading the way, just a little bit of love tap there between the 51 and 17. Oh, a little bit of... Whew, that was nearly some more contact, nearly going 3 wide as they make their way through Curve Grande. And now the 51 Ferrari finding his way in front of Hempy, but behind Elliot Hankin in P. Not quite sure, we'll wait for that Delta to update. Side by side go the 2 Ferraris. And the 909 is still in P1, and Kobe in P2, over nearly a second separating P1 to P2 as they come up to Lesmo, exiting Lesmo onto Seragilio and up towards Ascari, and Nicolo in P3 with the events that happened through turn 1, the infamous turn 1 Monza doing what it does best. Hard on the brakes, maybe not hard on the brakes at this very wet Monza. Over 58 minutes of racing left to go. It looks as though Nicolo had a pretty good exit there within the slipstream of Kobe. With over 58 minutes of racing left to go, we'll be seeing a move. We've got some more action there as well. We're going in, hopefully there's no contact. The Ferrari of Rupert in the 78 Ferrari making his way through the final corner here at Monza, which out of the Lexus, Bentley and Ferrari are going to get the best exits out of the Parabolica. And as we make our way into lap 2, MV leading nearly a second, gapping between himself and the Mercedes and McLaren of the number 7 of Kobe as they all make their way through the infamous turn 1. Rettifilio, single formation is becoming apparent here. Next Gen Hankin losing position to Lamp in the number 51 Ferrari, and we have the number 11 Audi in front of Mr. Lamp as they now make their way through Della Roggia and up to Lesmo 1, and it would make sense for Hankin and Lamp to work together here and work their way up to a podium pack. We've got 2 cars to work with until we can get to that moment, but we make our way under the Brembo Bridge up towards Ascari now, and a 1.444 separating Kobe to MVGT. MVGT really showing his worth, and I did think he was an extremely fast driver from round 1, but I think maybe had a spin out. I can't remember what happened. We've got side-by-side action between Kobe and Nicolo in the McLaren and Lexus. But has Nicolo in the 28 Lexus got a better run in the front-engined Lexus back into the slipstream? Did he have a mile or 2 per hour exit? It looks like Kobe is going defensive. We're going to have to jump on board as we watch these two fight it out. As Nicolo, look at that for some speed. 909 making his way through. Kobe might be losing out into... Oh no, Nicolo losing out to the sausage there. And there's, like I mentioned earlier, you touch them sausages, it's a one-way ticket to a death trap. But nevertheless, that's going to happen plenty of times today. So get back on the track and work your way back up, as I'm sure there'll be many incidents throughout the Next Gen Season 4 GT3 World Tour. Hankin in pursuit of the number 11 Audi, but we now have the number 51 Ferrari also passing the number 11 Audi of Mamster, and oh, the Bentley of 79, Mr. GT Dele, taking a trip to the beach there, and Hankin .248 separating him as they're nearly going side by side up towards Ascari. Hankin making sure he is maximising grip there, and you can see through the window screen just how wet it is and how much that is blurring their vision. And we make our way up to the parabolic. We're just in the 51 Ferrari now, right in the tail of the number 7 McLaren of Kobe, the number 11 Audi just going side there, losing the back end, giving a run as the 2 Audi R8s now go side by side as they pass the pit wall here at a very wet Monza. But is the number 11 Audi going to be able to keep on to this position? And Hankin not quite able to make anything happen there. Kobe's still under fire. Hankin taking the outside line. He has got a run. He's already side by side on Curva Grande. He's deciding to go side by side, showing us how big they are indeed. Hard on the brakes, still not able to make it happen. Maybe try and get a better run out through a longer straight, but no, he's having another little look, perhaps even trying to take off. Now I've just seen the number 11 Audi on his LCD screen with MAM, which is MAM, which is who he is, and I've been told you can't do that. I thought the number 44 Audi was lost in there. I thought the back end was just coming out. Thankfully, he has held onto it. Kobe still well under pressure now. From the 51 Ferrari, fighting for grip. The 909 Mercedes is leaving the pack. Still chasing him down, but he had MAM on his LCD screen, so you can do it. You can put your own initials on there, which is interesting. And yeah, Hankin not quite able to make anything happen there. We'll see exactly what they can do as they pass Rettifilio Tribune and the pit wall up towards Rettifilio. Turn 1, Monza. Lexus able to capitalise on position in the 78. Bentley putting himself back in 8th position, which of course points only to the delta to update. But Lamp 0.2 of a second now separating himself to a podium P2 position as we have just over 50 minutes of racing left. See that the 51 Ferrari is pushing that Ferrari to its limits here at Monza in pursuit of the number 7 McLaren, Belgium driver Kobe. Lexus 0.787, just out of substitute range. Bentley to the Lexus there. do it through the career mode. Interesting. Interesting. I've seen a few people. Well, nevertheless, put 60 seconds separating them. Alexi in 17, McLaren with an off, getting to grips, spending time behind that wheel. Here, a very wet Monza. To the right-hander of Curva Granda. Now a second separating P2 to P3. Kobe making a little bit of distance, getting out of slipstream range. Gemmo in the 98 Ferrari now making his way through Della Roggia and up to the first right of Lesmo. Fight for P4 and P2 is well and truly back on. Elliot Hankin, the closest, well and truly in slipstream range as they go for the final corner here at a very wet Monza with just over 48 minutes of racing left to go, clipping that apex, making sure he's using all of that track width and a little bit loose there through the parabolic, not too much, and it's still within slipstream range. So start finish straight past that pit wall. Well, hail the PS5 and PC, the number 11 in P4. Easy boy, easy. Hail and check. So that's P4 to P7 now for Mamstar. Giving Hankin P4, and look at the fight we have here between McLaren and Ferrari, purpose-built GT3s here at very wet Monza with purpose-built wet tyres. Everything to consider here as the drivers consider exactly how they want to play it here, and the 51 Ferrari is deciding to go side by side as they make their way under the bridge and up towards Ascari. Kobe taking a defensive line, Hankin in P3. He will most certainly be a little bit of contact. Check that out. Elliot Hankin though with a run. So now P2, 3 and 4 well and truly within slipstream range. Elliot Hankin not quite as close as I thought he was between the number 7 McLaren of Kobe, who is in hot pursuit of P2. The number 51 Ferrari now taking P2 as Kobe just shows his nose. Is he going to make it? His hand on the brakes. The Ferrari takes that position. Oh, a little bit of a bump. He's able to keep it. A little bit of a bump between Constantina effect coming into play through turn 1 to Monza there. I've got a fight under our hands indeed. Hopefully the boys can keep their heads on and we see no major dramas occur, as we do have under 50 minutes of racing. But look at this. And the 44 Elliot Hankin flashing Kobe now as he makes his way up to the rear bumper of the number 7 McLaren. very small visibility inside the cockpit, putting pressure on the number 7 McLaren, who's gone from P2 to P3 and now under attack from losing P3 to P4 of Elliot Hankin. And of course we have Lucan now in the fight for P3. Elliot Hankin in the 44 Audi in P4, only 2/10 of a second separating himself to Kobe. Now they're going to have to figure something out here, or the number 51 Ferrari is going to run away. We'll see whether Kobe holds onto it, or maybe he gives the position. It depends on tactics. It's never been one for fighting, unless it's the last lap or two. It's all about trying to get as quick as you possibly can. If you can work together, get up there to even a P2 on lap and fight it out at the end, or maybe even a P1 if the 909 Mercedes makes a mistake or two. But Mamster in the number 11 Audi making his way through the penultimate corner, or the final corner of Monza here, half second behind 79 Bentley with 44.4 seconds to go, making their way up to turn 1 Monza. He's showing his nose. Bentley touching the sausage. There's been contact. Fortunately, we all live to see another day, but 0.5 of a second, 0.666. The devil has made a presence for Elliot Hankin in P4 as he chases down the podium. P3 of Kobe in the number 7 McLaren, making their way up towards the first right-hander of Lesmo, Lucan up in P5, and P2 is still just ahead as we've got the drivers all in a train as they exit Lesmo and work their way up towards Serragilio and traverse Ascari. Lucan won a tournament in slipstream race now, the number 44 Audi. Side by side as they exit the Parabolica. There's the number 11 Audi taking position of the number 79 Bentley. GT Dele taking back that inside line. He wants that position, continuing to put pressure on the number 11 Audi. And Jano just in that train of 3 there. Up to the right-hander of Lesmo. 0.5 of a second separating P5 to P4 of Elliot Hankin. And 0.3 of a second. We've definitely got a fight here for P7, and even Hempy showing his nose at the rear of the number 78 Ferrari. Cannot miss Hempy in his beautiful GT3 Ferrari there. A little bit of distance between 79 Bentley and Rupert Hempy, a 1.111 separating himself between himself and Rupert in the identical full bar. Is Alexi in the number 17 McLaren, 1.7 separating himself, and Hempy and Jamo under a second separating himself to Alexi as they make their way through Rettifilio, Variante Rettifilio, as we are under the 40-minute mark. Hempy making his way up to Della Roggia, left and a right, get a nice amount of momentum there. And get that car straightened up as quickly as possible, especially in the wet. 10 laps down for MVGT in the 909 Mercedes. Well, that's a shame for the 44 Audi, but like I say, we do have 40 minutes of racing left to go, and he is still in P6, chasing down Nicolo in the 28 Lexus. That is a shame. I was just keeping an eye on the times there, 0.6 separating them all. That is a shame there for the number 44 Audi. Currently P4 in the standings with 17 points, going side by side with the Mamster. Now we've still got 40 minutes of racing left to go. See Hempy in the back of the camera shot there. Hankin very cautious on his throttle there, very much in the moment. So Hankin can take back that position, as them tyres will be back up to optimum temperatures in a few moments. Hope you're all enjoying this in chat. Number 11 Audi will be stung with a track limits warning there.
Pit window is opening.
So the pit window now open. Elliot Hankin showing he can keep his car in control in the worst of conditions. We don't know what happened earlier, but that was a save and a half as they come up to Ascari again. He's going to have to be careful of them tyres though. The 909 Mercedes decides to keep out on track. Alexi in the number 17 McLaren, 1.3 seconds separating him to Hempy in the 99 Car Livery of the Year award. And he's also in the pits, as well as GT Dele, Rupert, Hempy and Nicolo. "36 minutes of racing left to go." And Kobe finding himself in P3 now, 2.360 away from P2 of the number 51 Ferrari. It looks like he's getting into the flow now of that wet driving. And of course Kobe deciding to go with the McLaren for Season 4. Next Gens series under the Brembo Bridge. Ascari in pursuit of the Lexus. 1 second separating the pit connoisseur to the podium P3, provisional podium P3 of Comey in the number 7 McLaren. See them micro adjustments on the wheel. And John, Helicam Man, of course, drafted in, joining us again for round 2 here at Monza. How are you, John? It looks as though Kobe's taking position of Hempy there. Interesting turn of events between those drivers. Pit window open. 1.7 seconds away. So, still yet to pit is the race leader, finding his home here in the number 909 Mercedes AMG GT3, a very capable GT3 car, finding itself P1 across the world in many of the GT3 classes. Exactly how it's done. What's all this? Let's see how he takes the parabolica then. And making his way into the pits. Goes the race leader MVGT, putting on an incredible performance here for round 2 as we close into the halfway mark of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT3 World Tour Pro Lobby. We find ourselves in the GT3 cars here at a very wet Monza for those new joining us here. Under the Seaver Bridge and through Ascari, we've got the 316 Lexus, the pit connoisseur, leading the way and in pursuit. We get the halfway mark. is the legendary Nicolo in a totally brand new car this season, and Hempy just in the back of the camera shot there as they make their way past the grid wall. Pit wall, crossing that start finish straight. And now the number 7 McLaren finds his way leading a pack of 4 cars. McLaren leading 2 Lexuses, followed by the beautiful Ferrari there of Daniel Hempy, driven by a beautiful man. Over 28 minutes of racing left to go, not quite as close as I thought they were between the battle of the Audi R8s there. So we will jump back on board with who can pit connoisseur as they come up to the Parabolica, making sure them Pirelli wets make the most of their purpose-built traction system through their tyres. Making sure he gets as much time in the slipstream he can as Kobe. And Kobe running wide there. 28 Lexus of Nicolo right up the rear end now of Lucan, and Kobe with the track limits warning. And also finding himself a few tenths up the road. Well played. If you're going to get a track warning, you might as well make the most of it. Work within the rules and all that jazz. Oh, Lucan also with a track warning limit there. And wet Monza starting to come into effect. Coming towards Lesmo 2. Nicolo with a very good corner entry there, followed by Hempy as they make their way under the Seba Bridge, still led by Kobe as he makes their way through Ascari, McLaren, Lexus, Ferrari. Through the Parabolica, and Mr. Lamp currently leading but still yet to pit. Mr. 44 makes his way out of the pits and into this battle, now making 4 cars at 5, but finding himself just ahead of Daniel Hempy in the world's most beautiful Ferrari. New tyres. Hempy may have the advantage of optimum tyre temperatures there. Alrighty, we should get a good shot of all 5 drivers here. Seto across the side. Through Ascari to Lexus's battle it out. Kobe with somewhat of a comfortable lead there. Alrighty, so Mr. Lamp now exiting the pits. 909 Mercedes is in 11th position. Okay. That's a wounding result there for the 909 AMG. MP in 12th. And a lap down. Yeah, they have an entire lap. The damage to repair, perhaps. Nevertheless, that does mean that Kobe is in P2, but only 1 second separating P2 to P3 of Lucan in the 316 Lexus, 0.6 of a second separating podium P3 to Nicolo in P4 in the 28 Lexus. And 18 laps down, 22 minutes of racing left to go, and leading is the number 51 Ferrari of Mr. Lamp, yet again finding his way 7 seconds of the road of Kobe, finding his way yet again in P2, but under pressure from P3 and 4, and Elliot Hankin working his way through the pack.
The window is now closed.
Got a fight for P7 here. Alexi in the number 17 McLaren leading that fight. Under the Seaman Bridge goes the number 79 Bentley back of the pack. We have the 98 Ferrari of Jamo joining us for season 4. Round 2 here at the very wet Monza. Mamster just touching her sausage but able to control the suspension very well there. Looks like he might be going side by side with the number 17 McLaren as they make their way up to the final corner here at the Parabolica. Side by side is McLaren and Audi. A tiny little love tap there. But we've got the McLaren on the inside line. Has the Audi of Mamster got a better run out? Yes, he has. Taking P7 away from the number 17 McLaren there. They go side by side again as they come up to T1 Monza. T2 Jamo in hot pursuit there, loving the battle as he's seeing ahead, watching it all unfold. And now the 28 Bentley in slipstream range, only 0.3 of a second separating himself between P3 podium position from himself and the 316 Lexus. Lucan, that's the battle of the Lexuses. Franklin, welcome my friend to the incredible action unfolding here for round 2 of the Next Gen boys here at a very moist Monza. Separating 20 laps in is the race leader, number 51 Ferrari, with just under 20 minutes, a third left of racing left to go. Hope you're doing well, Franklin. Thanks for popping in, great to see you. Thanks for popping in chat. Delta taking its time to update, so that position has actually already been taken. And the Delta has just updated, put 695 separating Lucan now in P4, chasing the podium position of Nicolo in the 28 Lexus, and 2.28 seconds separating Nicolo to P2 of Kobe in the number 7 McLaren, who's 7.9 seconds away from the race leader, and the number 51 Ferrari. Yeah, legend, mate. Appreciate that, Franklin. Good to see and hear from you. Look forward to getting back on track with you as well. It's good fun today as well. Look forward to some more. But the pack looks as though it's somewhat fairly comfortable, but somewhat of a fight for P7. 1 second separating 3 drivers there. Kobe leading this pack of 3 in McLaren, making his way into the right of the Parabolica. Nicolo making sure he gets all of his horsepowers down through the final corner here at the Parabolica. With a very good exit there. Kobe seemingly able to keep the distance with the 316 Lexus chasing the other identical Lexus, albeit with maybe somewhat different setups. Battling it out. Under the Brembro sign and into the first left-hander and right of Ascari through the final left. Nicolo again with a very good exit, just within slipstream range. That looks like it might have given the run to Lucan, side by side with Nicolo in the number 28 Lexus. They are on a drag race in the identical Lexuses. Who had the better exit, but nevertheless they are still side by side. Lucan deciding to give way to Nicolo as they make their way up to the first right-hand corner of T1 Monza. Kobe still ahead as these boys continue to fight it out. Alrighty. We're now losing position to MVGT, going from 1st to 11th. It's a shame for the AMG of MV, who's put on an incredible performance today. Still putting on an incredible performance with his lap times. 21 seconds separating MVGT to Rupert in the 78 Ferrari. Keep an eye on that with just under 40 minutes of racing left to go. Lucan 1 second separating himself to the podium. P3 of Nicolo in the 28 Lexus. Elliot Hankin working his way back up into P5. Be interesting to see exactly what happens at the end of this race. Whether we see any more driver position changes, whether we see any more accidents. A treacherous Monza here, claiming victim to a few today. Just under 30 minutes of racing left to go, with Mr. Lamp in the 51 Ferrari taking P1 with 23 laps under his belt. Nearly 10 seconds now, exceeding by another 2 seconds between the 51 Ferrari and the 7 McLaren. Nicolo in podium P3 with the 28 Lexus, 2.1 seconds separating himself to Kobe in P2. Mr. RV Motorsport, how are you, good sir? Joined us with 12 minutes of racing left to go. Mr. Lamp in P1, 10 seconds separating P1 to P2, 1.7 seconds separating P2 to P3, 1.3 seconds separating P4 to P3 of Nicolo and Lucan. Closing into the final 10 minutes up to the first left of Della Raggia. Handling that like an absolute boss. And now widening that gap, meaning 2 seconds still separate P2 to P3. Mamster in P7 in the number 11 Audi. Chasing down the 79 Bentley, who he was previously ahead of. Very green inside the Audi GT3. Still, of course, treacherous conditions. Getting the most he possibly can out of his Audi GT3 as he makes his way through the Parabolica and up towards that start-finish straight, passing the pit wall on his right-hand side. He actually probably wants to take that position back from the number 79 Bentley there. Who's ran wide and we're getting a track limits warning there. as smooth as he possibly can. It looks like he might have a run there. That's a bit of rubber banding perhaps. As we now see the two drivers, the Bentley and the Audi GT3 classes, make their way into the Seba Bridge and up to Ascari. Pretty comfortable timings now between the rest out on track, but the 79 Bentley is hot under pressure with the final 8 minutes of racing. As the number 11 Audi of Manchester continues his assault here at a very wet Monza, chasing down the 79 Bentley within slipstream range. He's gone for the inside line as they press hard on the brakes into turn 1 at Monza. Got it braked in time and he's made it happen. He's took that position away from turn 1 at Monza there. We'll see whether the 79 Bentley can take that back. Lucan P4, 2.2 seconds separating himself to the podium. P3 Nicolo, 2.9 seconds still separating P3 to P2 of Kobe and the number 7 McLaren, and still 9.7 seconds separating P2 to P1 as the driver leading this race passes that start finish straight. And now we are on lap 27 with just over 6 minutes of racing left to go. Seconds separating the 79 Bentley from Mamster and the number 11 Audi. We've got a go Lampy in chat. .2 seconds ahead of P2, just over 5 minutes of racing left to go. The Audi and the Bentley taking beautiful lines there through. Della Regia and through the first right of Lesmo. .144 separating P7 to P6. 4 minutes 44 left to go, and Lucan in P4 in the 316 Lexus, just under 3 seconds now separating himself to a podium position. We'll see whether anything happens with the last 4 minutes. Just over 4 minutes worth of racing. The number 51 Ferrari Lampi exiting T1 Monza and going through Curve Grande. Now the 7 McLaren making his way exiting T1. Elliot Hankin in P5 working his way back through after whatever happened earlier that made him spin off track. Another cracking effort. Just over 3 minutes left to go of racing. And of course, Lampy in P1, winning last week's race with 21 points. Kobe, second place in last race, already in second place in this race with 19 points. Hempy in P3, finding himself in P12 today though, with 18 points. Hankin in P4, 17 points. P5 today, and Alexei in P5, finding himself in P8. GT Dele in the 79 Bentley in P7 today, in P6 on the leaderboards with 15 points. 14 points goes to Mamsa, currently in P6. P7 on the leaderboard. MVGT P8, 13 points, currently P12. And Rupert with 11 points, P10. In P10. Gemmo currently in P9 with 10 points, P11 on the board, and Pelosa in P12. Nicolo currently in P3, should be getting 18 points today if he can bring that home. And now only 1.4 seconds separating himself to Kobe. Just over 2 minutes of racing left to go. Okay then, so we now approach the final 90 seconds of racing. Leading the pack is Lampy in the 51 Ferrari, 29 laps in. Making his way, I'm going to assume this is going to be the final lap. Going to be called out as he makes his way through the Parabolica for what is maybe the penultimate time now. Going through the Parabolica, crossing that start finish, 54 seconds left to go. Leader on the final lap, so Lamp E 30 laps in, going to be completing 31 laps here at Monza, a very, very wet Monza, as he comes up to T1 at Monza. Not too much drama at the beginning of this race. A couple of little bumps, but no major occurrences. We've had Nicolo, who span off through turn 1 after a few laps in, but finding his way in P3 now in podium position. Only 1.4 seconds separating himself towards Kobe in the number 7 McLaren as they make their way from the exit of turn 1 up to the right hand of Kirby Grande. Lucan in P4, 4 seconds separating himself to P3 podium of Nicolo. And the 44 Audi of Elliot Hankin, 5 seconds separating himself to Lucan in P4. 51 Ferrari making his way through Ascari. Kobe and Nicolo still fighting it out as they make their way up to Ascari. And the 51 Ferrari exiting the penultimate corner here for the final of Next Gen Season 4 GT3 World Tour. Round 2 here at a very moist Monza. And Lampy making his way through the final corner here at Monza with another colossal 21 points. That's 42 points to P1 positions as we get a flash from the legendary 51 Ferrari, Mr. Lampy. Congratulations to him, good sir. And Kobe making his way through the final corner. The Parabolica followed by Nicola. Do we get a flash? No, we don't. Nicolo making his way in P3. And Lucan taking a P4 today for NXTGEN's Season 4, Round 2. Elliot Hankin with a P5. Mabster taking a P6. Followed by Alexi, number 99 of Hempy, crossing that line. Alexi crossing that line. Next is Jamo, followed by Dele and Rupert and MV with what was an incredible performance, but a P11 for him today, bringing P11 as he is last across that line, giving us a flash. What a legend. And that brings us to a close for the NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour Round 2 at Monza. Lampe in the 51 Ferrari taking 2 podium positions, P1 positions, as the fireworks are now going off. What incredible racing, and a big shout out to Lampy in the 51 Ferrari. Gone into the pits. See whether we get some complimentary donuts from the pit connoisseur before we end the stream there. And Tarej, bravo Lampe, go, 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 go. Indeedy, what an incredible performance that is for the 51 Ferrari. Great racing, folks, says Simon in chat. And Ian with a GG. Making their way through Ascari. You see Lucan chasing Kobe in 7. McLaren down, but I assume that's going to be us for the day. You're going to be seeing us next week for round 3. I'm not sure on the combo. If anyone lets me know in chat, then I'll let everyone else know in time. And boom, there it is. That's what should have happened earlier. Took him out. Do we get any donuts? That's the question. But we should be here for next week. Streaming round 3. of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour. Blocking up the pits like another absolute legend. Kobe's sick of his McLaren maybe. And there we go. Well, there you go. That is making me dizzy. Big shout out to the NXTGEN boys. Well done today, and of course, well done to the 51 Ferrari. Lampy taking P1, 14 seconds up the road of P2, Kobe and the McLaren 720S. And Nicolo, not with the best of starts in round 1, but showing that he is getting to grips with that Lexus, taking a position over Lucan Pit Connoisseur in P, TMK, and Hankin in P5, followed by Mamster, Alexi, Jamo, Rupert, MVGT, GT Delhi, and Daniel Hempy in the world's most beautiful Ferrari GT3. That's going to bring the stream to a close. Hey Daiko, thank you for joining us. We were just about to end but we've still got Pit Connoisseur doing what he does best. And now Hempy practicing his celebratory race finish donuts. And there we go. That brings us to the end of the session. Thank you to absolutely everyone in chat. Thank you for everyone that smashed that like button. It is very much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you next week for round 3 of the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour. Great racing, great comms this evening. Thank you, John. Great racing indeed. And there we go. Thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next time. Ciao, doodle ciao. Bye, Wado, Focarinos. Bye, Wado.